Ida for telling my fiancé that her academic/career disappointments are due to her own choices. I, 29M, have been in a relationship with my fiancé, 29F, for about 15 years. We are incredibly close in almost every aspect, except when it comes to our dedication to academics and career goals. Growing up in poverty, my main focus was always achieving financial security. This led me to prioritize academic achievements. On the other hand, my fiancé came from a financially stable background and was more into partying, not recognizing the need to utilize her potential. She believed life shouldn't revolve around studying and that we should have fun while we're young. In an effort to match her lifestyle, I would spend days doing whatever activities she desired, often running on only 4 hours of sleep. Although exhausting, it made her happy, and I enjoyed the time spent with her. However, there were times when I had to decline going out or doing things for prolonged periods because of approaching deadlines or feeling overwhelmed. This would irritate her. I even tried setting up study dates, but they didn't work out because she would only do the bare minimum before moving on, much faster than I could manage. This became a constant source of conflict in our relationship. Eventually, I completed all my degrees, including a master's, with top honors and secured a high-paying job that I mainly do from home. It was a goal I had worked hard for, and I am not ashamed to admit that it involved a lot of tears. Meanwhile, she didn't get accepted into a master's program, graduated late, couldn't find work in her chosen field, and struggles to cover her share of the bills on her own. Throughout this time, I have tried to be supportive, offering solutions and reassuring her that I don't mind financially supporting both of us because I love her and know she would do the same for me. Lately, she has been blaming everyone else for the situation she's in. She blames her teachers for her poor grades, employers for requiring relevant work experience that she lacks, friends for tempting her to go out, and her parents for not supporting her financially. She also blames me for not pushing her to study more. Usually, I brush off her frustrations, understanding her disappointment, and strive to be a good partner. However, recently she has been nagging me about not spending enough time together, even though we spend every afternoon together after my work shift. So, after a series of intense discussions, I finally expressed to her that she is solely responsible for her circumstances. I told her that she wasted her potential and now faces the consequences, finding herself below average. This led her to call me in butt and storm out of the house. Since then, it's been weighing heavily on my mind, and I'm unsure if I am the one in the wrong here. Am I the asshole? AITA? Update: Ida for telling my fiancé that her academic/career disappointments are due to her own choices. Link to the original post is here. Hello everyone. I want to express my gratitude for your feedback on my previous post. I understand now that my wording was misguided, and I apologize for any offense caused. I also want to make it clear that my intention was never to judge or criticize anyone's journey or academic success. My remarks were specific to the situation at hand, and I realize now that I could have chosen my words more carefully. My main point, although poorly expressed, was that my fiancé had the potential to excel in college but chose a different path, which is entirely her decision. I believe it is unfair for her to blame others for her career progression. After contemplating your advice, I decided to reach out to my fiancé and asked her to meet me for a conversation. Interestingly, both her parents and sister supported my perspective on this matter, which is significant for later events. I reassured her of my love and explained that my intention was never to belittle or shame her. I apologized sincerely for my ill-phrased comment and emphasized that I always saw her as my equal. I tried to convey that none of us hindered her academic journey and that we all want to support her. I encouraged her to pursue what she believes is best for herself and promised her my emotional and financial support to help make her dreams come true. My goal was to move forward together. I expected us to meet in the middle, acknowledge our respective mistakes, and work on strengthening our relationship. However, her initial response was silence, followed by a chuckle. Then she accused me of patronizing her when I offered to cover her bills. According to her, my support was merely an attempt to make myself feel superior due to my accomplishments. She insinuated that I believed she couldn't succeed on her own. Ultimately, she blamed me for her current professional and familial situation. Some commenters on my previous post had already hinted at this narrative, leaving me conflicted about how to respond without being condescending and while respecting her feelings. Taking your suggestions into account, I proposed couples therapy as a way to navigate through our issues, but she declined, stating that spending more money on therapy wouldn't make up for emotional neglect. I couldn't find the right words to answer because I was overwhelmed with emotions and on the verge of tears. After a few minutes of silence, I proposed ending our relationship, and she agreed instantly. Thank you all for your insightful comments. They have provided me with a more comprehensive perspective, and I genuinely believe I have become a better person through this experience.